And the Gumper never let his kids forget about their roots set down here in the Point. His daughter again told me, when we used to get too cocky at home, if it was, I want this, or give me that, he would always say, get in the damn car. Then he'd pile the kids in the car and he'd drive them to the Point. And he would tell them all about how he played hockey as a kid outside, how they used road apples for a puck and Sears catalogs as pads. He'd tell his kids, so don't you start with a gimme, or I'm just going to give you a Sears catalog. Leanne added also, she said, at least once a year, her father would take him back to the Point and bring him down the streets where he grew up and tell him where he lived and what he used to do and how he'd always take them to Barabie, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which was a greasy spoon that used to be in the Point. We always have to order the same thing, Leanne said, and we get this big lecture about, you better stop it with the gimmies and the I wants. You have no idea how I grew up. She said, trust me, I heard that story a lot. Worsley also told that his daughter shared the story with me about how he became a goalie in the Point and how it never would have happened if it wasn't for his friends and the charity of them. She told me that when he went out to try out for the Verdun Cyclones, he had to borrow all the equipment. He didn't have goalie equipment. He would go around asking, can I have your skates, can I have your pads, can I have this, can I have that? And then he went and tried out and made the team. And the rest is history, as she said. There's obviously a lot of history when it comes to Leo's Boys. And I think it's fantastic that this organization is being honored here today and recognized by Hockey Canada also, which now employs our former Leo's boy, Kevin Figsby, who's doing a great job in his new job. I remember Kevin back in his days coaching at Concordia. I'm just thankful, in the end, I was happy to learn so much about Leo's Boys and be here today and learn what it meant to you people here in the Point. They talk about always how you can take the boy out of the Point, or the woman out of the Point, that you can't take the Point out of them, and I believe that's very true. I'm just sad I don't see those green Leo's Boys jackets anymore around Montreal, although one exception in the back there today. Anyway, thanks everybody for having me today. This is a very special event.
One more time for Stu Cowan. And a big hand for all of our inductees today. And this time I'd like to welcome back Kevin to the podium for the scholarship portion.
Thanks, Chantal. It's very fitting today that Bishop Neil Willard, I will always call Father Willard, is being inducted into the Point St. Charles Hall of Fame. And as you can see to my right, there are a number of young individuals that are standing there for good reason. And why it's fitting is in 1979, two kids from Point St. Charles were going off to university. One was going off to play football at the University of New Brunswick, and the other was going off to Bishop's University to play hockey. And we both got a call, I being the hockey guy, from Father Willard at the time, and he said, I hear you're going to school, can you come over to the church? And I went over to the church, and he brought me into the rectory, and he said, sit down. He said, the community's proud of you, and he slid an envelope across the table. And I opened the envelope, and in the envelope there was a check for $150. And I said, what's that for? And he said, well, everybody going to school needs a little bit of help. And I said, well, thank you, Father, I greatly appreciate this. What can I do to repay? And he said, if you ever get the chance to help another kid, take the chance. And the other kid who got called to the rectory that day, I'd like to call up right now because I think two kids getting checks for $150 and being asked if you can ever help another kid, help them. I think we're somewhere around $250,000 that's come with your assistance to go back to the kids at Point St. Charles for their education. And I think it's a commitment from our community to make sure that kids have the opportunity to aspire and achieve and reach their dreams. And my wife has a plaque in our house, and it says, if you want to look into the future, plant seeds and watch flowers grow. And I'd like to call upon Sean O'Donnell and Darren McGuire to talk to you about the future and the kids at Point St. Charles and what they've accomplished from an academic perspective. So Sean and Darren, thank you. Oh, I know Sean's going to shoot me here. We've been very, very fortunate. We started the scholarship the first year with 2 scholarships at $250, and an anonymous donor stepped up and doubled that in our first year. And then we were contacted by Barry Ross, Bobby Ross, and Billy and Charlie O'Donnell with the aid of the O'Donnell Foundation, and we went from 2 $1,000 scholarships to $8,000. And then the Mel family stepped up, the Petto family stepped up, the Friends of Ian Stevenson stepped up, am I missing? And Jim Barrier stepped up, and then Bob Gainey stepped up, and we've had donations from individuals, Darren McGuire, the Michelin Foundation, and a number of other people who you'll see on the donor page in the back of our booklet. And today I'd like to announce 3 other people that have stepped up, or organizations and people, and I'd like to ask you to give them your applause and thank them for contributing to the education and the future of the kids from Point St. Charles. And those people are Wayne Clark, in honor of his sister Diane, Lori Morrison, and the Aaron Sports Association. Timmy and the group, thank you so much. Thank you, Wayne, thank you, Lori, and thank you to all our other benefactors.
Kevin, I don't know, you got $150 from Father Willard? My envelope only had $50 in it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our annual Hall recognition event. First of all, congratulations to all the inductees and their families. It's been a lovely day, and I've never been more proud of Point St. Charles, so congratulations, everyone. I just want to do a shout out to Mrs. Baudelaire, if she's here. I know where is she? 80 years on Paris Street, and still going strong. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce my colleague, Darren McGuire, to say a few words.
Well, thank you, everyone. Today we will be awarding a total of 20 scholarships to deserving students from the Point St. Charles community. Included in this number are 7 scholarships, memorial scholarships, in the amount of $2,000 each, which is certainly more than $150, even with inflation. These scholarships are awarded in the memory of Sharon Pryor, Robert O'Donnell, Gerald O'Donnell, Laura Gainey, Patrick Mel, Pasquale Patapeta, and of course our beloved coach, Ian Stevenson.
These 7 individuals will live on in our hearts and in our minds, and we pay tribute to them and their families annually at this event.
Including today's award, in this our 14th year, we have now distributed a total of 275 scholarships for a grand total of $239,000. Many of our award winners are repeat award winners, which makes us especially proud. None of this, of course, would have been possible without the generosity of the major donors that Kevin had mentioned before. We are extremely grateful to them, because without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. The scholarship committee and funds continue to thrive and grow. And of course, none of this would be possible without you folks coming here every year and supporting us. So thank you very much. I must say, I've been around a few communities now, and no one does what we do with such passion.
Before we introduce our winners, we'd like to call up the following people to help us present the scholarships. I'd like to call in alphabetical order Mr. Wayne Clark. Please come up and join us. Shannon Figsby, Ms. Kathleen Mel, Ms. Lori Morrison, Ms. Claire O'Donnell, Mr. Mark O'Donnell, Ms. Doreen Pryor, Ms. Maureen Pryor, and Ms. Sabrina Stevenson. Would you please all come up and join us?
And now we'd like to introduce you to the 7 Memorial Scholarship winners. This year's winner of the Sharon Pryor Memorial is Miss Paige Guerin Miller. Paige is at Concordia University in the BA in Anthropology. She volunteers in the Young Campers program, and her long-term goal is to receive a PhD in child psychology. Congratulations.
The Robert O'Donnell winner is Mr. Joshua Delage from Dawson College. He delivers Christmas baskets for St. Gabriel's. He coaches soccer. His long-term goal is to be an air traffic controller and eventually a pilot.
This year's Gerald O'Donnell winner is Miss Caitlin Taylor. Caitlin is at McGill University doing phys ed and health. She volunteers training Halo runners at St. Gabriel's School. Her long-term goal is to teach physical education at the CJEP and to continue to be a personal trainer.
This year's Laura Gainey winner is Miss Veronica Varillo from Concordia University Child Studies. Volunteered at St. Columba House, shared the warmth, and coaches soccer, and her long-term goal she has always wanted to be an elementary school teacher since she was a young girl.
This year's Patrick Mell winner is Miss Rosanna Varillo, McGill University Elementary Education. Her volunteer activities, coincidentally enough, are St. Columba House, share the warmth, and soccer. And her long-term goal, she too wants to be a teacher.
This year's Pat Capetta winner is Mademoiselle Beatrice Tercat. She is at École Polytechnique de Montréal in mechanical engineering. She volunteers in a community sports center and summer camp, and her long-term goal is to become an engineer and be an influential woman in the field of renewable and green energy.
Last but not least, this year's Ian Stevenson Award winner is Miss Caitlin Day. Unfortunately, Caitlin is studying in Ontario, so she couldn't be here to join us. She's studying at Algonquin College pre-health program. She's active when she's back home at St. Gabriel's, and we congratulate her.
And now we welcome our remaining scholarship winners in alphabetical order, beginning with Karine Bruno from Cégep de Vieux-Montréal, and she was also the Ian Stevenson winner last year.
Also like to announce Apollona Griffin from Sacred Heart.
Her brother Cole Griffin from Loyola High School.
Carter Griffiths, Burning Academy.
Nahela Lopez from Villa Maria High School.
Caleb McGregor, Westmount High School.
Anthony Manelli from McGill University and the 2015 Pat Capetta winner.
Elizabeth Roy, University of Montreal. She's also a former Pat Capetta winner.
Her sister Sandrine Leroy, who just had to leave to go to a class, she's also from the University de Montréal and was the 2016 Laura Gainey winner.
Palami Sen, McGill University, 2016 Patrick Mell Award winner.
Camille Valentine from McGill University, the 2016 Pat Capetta winner.
finally, I have two last ones. Victoria Vaudry, Carleton University, and Miss Pippa Jones, Dawson College. Unfortunately, both of them couldn't make it today, but again, we congratulate them.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a final applause to all our 2017 scholarship winners. Thank you.
A huge congrats one more time for all our award winners. And an even bigger thank you to all the financial donors that made the scholarships possible. Now let's just keep the claps going. A big hand for our guest speakers, Dave